Good morning, moms in real estate community. It's me, Kristen Cantrell, and my beautiful friend, Randy.
Hello.
And today we are going to talk to you guys about tech tools. Like, I'm really excited about this because it's not a sexy topic by any means, but I feel like it is like the thing that has helped me in my business like so much over the last handful of years. So I'm
Oh my
excited.
gosh, yes. Tech tools for agent success. And I think they're the small little things that can help us to scale so much higher than we like actually expect. And so I'm excited to kick that off. Who's going to share their first favorite? Me or you?
You.
Okay. So one of my first favorites is it's actually inside of my CRM. So I use Follow Up Boss. And I made the choice to move to Follow Up Boss because it was really efficient for me to be able to record calls because I'm that mom that's like driving, kids are screaming, my grandkids are having a fit. And I like promise the world to my client. I'm like, yeah, we can do this, we could do that. And I totally can and want to, but then I don't remember anything. And so just the fact that I could record my calls was like a game changer. But this is where tech has come in and just like changed it totally. Because now inside of Follow Up Boss, there's AI that summarizes the call for you. So it literally gives you like, here's the action steps. Here's what you're going to do post call. So that has just changed my life. It's like having an assistant without having an assistant. And also, Kristen, when we have calls with, we don't do a lot of online leads, it's not our jam. But when we do have calls that are with leads, and like, it's like, well, how do we move them? And we're super authentic. So it's like, we don't want to sell, be salesy with them. We will take that summary and put it in Chat GPT, another favorite tool. So I'm showing two at once, sorry. But we'll say, like, how can we motivate this person or educate this person to move them forward? And we're
Yeah.
getting ideas that are so powerful.
No, I think that that's so great because there are so many moments where you're on a call and you say these things and you're like, shit, what did I say? Yeah, I totally
All the
forget.
time,
So I
all the
love
time.
that.
Yeah, so
So
those are two
helpful.
two tools in one that are just amazing for our business right now.
Yeah. And so one I'll share is like for so long, I've had so many different real estate CRMs where I've tried to like manage people through them. And I just feel like I would go on and I'll speak specifically to email marketing. They would have the ability to do email marketing, but every time I get an email from them, it was like I didn't want to open it and it looked spammy and it was boring and it was like, bleh, I don't want to do it. So I was introduced to Flowdesk from Jenna Kutcher, which totally not in real estate. She comes from like the photography world. Now she's like an expert marketing, amazing lady. And I listened to one of her trainings and I was like, that's what I need. And so it's been like one of the best things for me because it's allowed me to create email marketing and lead gen forms that are authentic to me and my brand that people actually are opening. So I would say that is like one of my number one systems. And it's like $19 a month.
Well, yeah, and for agents too, I would just piggyback on that. That's also one of my favorite. And I do all my escrow updates inside of Flowdesk. So now I have a pretty template. And so it's so much easier because it's like, okay, what to expect in closing week. And I just go in there and plug it in. But what I love too, Kristen, is that you can see like if they opened it, what
Yeah.
they clicked on. So when they're like, oh, I didn't get that, I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
You totally
totally. We
did.
do, yeah, in our real estate group, we do basically we brain dump the most frequently asked questions when working with a buyer and then with a seller and we just like write them all down and then we put them into a 12-month campaign and build them out. And then the cool thing is we're in accountability groups, so we actually like share templates with each other. So that's been great.
Oh,
What's another tool you like?
okay, so another tool I like, it has AI in it. And so so I always evaluate my business, what's working, what's missing, broken, and confusing. And I could kind of read the writing on the wall earlier this year around like needing to be listing heavy. And so for any of you out there that are watching this, that are you're kind of like, dang, how's my buyer business going to look? I can feel you because I was like 70% buyer heavy. So I was like, I want more listings. And so I started Celebrity Agent. And here's why I love it, because it's farming, but it's farming with AI. And so
Mhm.
what it does is it kind of scrubs all public records. So, they recognize any activity that's happening, like maybe it's like a new trust that's been recorded, a marriage license, a divorce license. And instead of just, spraying and praying and kind of having to mail to 1,500 people, I can mail to 500 people, and it's the 500 people most likely to transact.
Mm.
So it's really kind of leveraging AI inside of adding the tech to farming. I'm super excited about that, and it's resulting in some good listing opportunities.
Yeah, that's great. I've heard amazing things about Celebrity Agent.
Yeah, well,
Um,
stay tuned because we're going to do more with them for moms in real estate.
it's exciting. Okay, I will say like a super basic one that's a tech tool that has always been something that's been so helpful for me is like Google Calendar, you guys. How stupid is that? But like the more I live by my calendar, the more efficient I am, the more stuff I get done. So I will tell you, I utilize that for all my tasks. So being able to cross off a task, I know so many of you moms love to do that. And so just having like that on my calendar and like having that cross through it makes me feel so good. And then like today after this call, I have an hour and a half blocked where I have to sit and make reels. Like I don't want to do that, you guys, but guess what? Like every Monday after this call, that's what I'm doing. It's because I'm living by my calendar. Another good thing that I do, which you can obviously use your CRM for this, but I find it more effective because I live in my calendar all day, is after I have a meeting with somebody, I will put their name and I will put what I need to follow up with them by. So obviously, depending upon the conversation, their name just goes to whatever date. It could be 2 weeks from now, it could be 2 days from now, but it will just show up as a task on my calendar for follow up. And then if they don't answer or whatever happens, I just move them over another day and another day. So I really heavily use that for my follow up, which has been really effective for me.
I love that. I was seeing if I could find it, but I think I just read or watched a video that was like Google just annihilated Calendly. So Calendly is like a basic tech tool that I use for scheduling. But my understanding, and maybe you know about this, is that Google just released like a Calendly type, like a scheduling type thing. Have you looked at that?
No, but that just makes, I would rather everything be under there.
So I use Outlook. So I was like, I don't know, I've tossed the idea around, but yeah, you can apparently get rid of Calendly now if you have Google, because you can set up options and then they can deal with you. So it's like your Google tech just got better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and even like, regardless if it is better or not, Calendly has been a game changer for me. Do you know how much I go back and forth with people about meeting
Oh
times?
my gosh. Yeah. And my favorite, if you struggle, because at first, when, as an agent, like whether it was with clients or it was other agents, I didn't want to ever give off like that vibe of like, here's my calendar book with me. Like, I never wanted to give off that snotty vibe. And so I've always been like, hey, I'm so excited to meet with you. And I want you to pick any time that works for you. On my calendar, pick whatever time is best for you. And sometimes I'll even say, like, hey, if something's not open, let me know. But I send it, and I know on the back end all my parameters are there. Like all my family time's protected, all my kids stuff, my grandkids stuff, it's all on the calendar. And so I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, having that is definitely helped. And you can like put in all the different workflows to get people prepared for the call so your show up rate is better. And you can have, just I have like a series of questions they have to answer. So I think that's been really good.
Yeah.
Another one that I'll talk about is Trello. Do you use Trello?
Well, I use Trello because you because you use Trello and we work together. And so Kristen's always like, did you go to the Trello board?
Yeah.
So I am learning my way around Trello thanks to you.
Yeah, and it's great. You can use it for so many different things, like even, how are you showing up in your marketing efforts in 2024?
Yeah.
Well, like you don't just show up to them. So do you have like a mapped out plan? And so I really love Trello for mapping out like big projects. A lot of you guys are event heavy in your real estate business, your client appreciation events. How nice is it if you can have like a planned board and then your next event you can go to it and duplicate it and you don't have to think like, who were the sponsors, who was, whatever, all the different things that get involved in it, it's all listed right in there. So I would say Trello for managing and organizing.
Yeah, I use Basecamp. Have you ever? So I think it's like I would say they're the same category. I
Okay.
think it really boils down to, and here's Kristen alluded to this earlier, like she lives by her calendar. When we go over these tools, like there's so many great tools, but you have to use them for them to be successful, right? And Basecamp is kind of like my Trello, and it's more like online file cabinet. So I can see like, oh, every file cabinet, and then I can go there. So I love that. But can I like confess something? I am really weird about, so I'll tell you my new favorite tool that I'm still learning. But I'm super weird about like how things feel and flow. And I can tell within like 5 seconds of getting into something if I'm going to like it or not. I'm like either going to love
Same.
it or not. And I have not loved, as far as real estate, I have my personal brand website, but as far as real estate, I haven't loved my inside of my website in a really long time. So I've used Boomtown, I've used I used Ylopo, I used KV Core because that's what we had at EXP, and I was not excited at all. And Kristen, I kind of am stealing yours because you brought this up as a favorite tool, but I instantly was like, I'm falling in love with Lofty.
Yeah, I
Like,
actually was, I cannot even tell you, Friday I was with a team that works with me and they just switched to Lofty and he was beyond pumped about it. He was like, Lofty is so amazing. And like, I'm like, okay, like he kept talking about it and he like pulls it up and it is very like, it's very, I was describing it to Randy, like it's like big features. It flows good. It looks good. Sometimes you go into CRM systems and it's like small and so techy looking that you almost just like abort mission right away. And you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't know. Like everything has to be like pretty and easy for me. So I feel like Lofty very much accomplishes
then they
that.
have the ability to customize it. So here's what I have found. I have found, and I was a franchise broker, so I was guilty of this myself, but like when we offered things to our client or our agents, we want to keep the overhead and the cost down. So we've done the watered down version. And so then it's like very templated. Everything feels like you have to have a template and people are going to recognize your website the second they come on is 10 other people's. And Lofty has the ability to pick a template, but then to customize it. And it's so simple. It's just like really easy use. And I haven't even checked the CRM the CRM component, but just the website component, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited about that.
Yeah. Well, lucky us because we're at Real.
Right.
Yes.
I know. Well, and Real actually gives us our own like searchable website. I had an agent that was super excited. They were like, wait, I get a website without even paying it. So Lofty is just like the upgraded version.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
I
I
know.
don't have any more, do you?
Well, I have the last one, and I don't know, but kind of on the topic of us being at Real, currently Leo is my favorite tech tool. So inside of
Leo's legit.
Real, we have Leo. And at first, before I had officially joined Real, I was blowing up Dustin, who's our partner. I was blowing him up with questions like, hey, can we do this at Real? Or how does commercial work? Are we allowed to do this? And now I just blow up Leo all day. And I did my first walkthrough since I had moved. And just being able to go to Leo and be like, hey, where's my notice of required repairs? And pull up the inspection report for this property instead of like my TC, who was like at preschool with her kid and was like, she was hating me and I was frustrated because I needed it right that second. Just being able to use that tech, that's something I'm really excited about for a tech tool right now.
Yeah, that's definitely been like, I mean, even just like, hey, when does my license expire, Leo? And he's like, February 28th of 2025. I'm like, perfect, thank you.
Yep.
So
Do
easy.
you say thank you to tech too? I'm always like, please and thank you.
Yeah, very polite. I'm like, this is probably a robot that's gonna come kill me one day. So
I'm like, I'm feeding my future murderer, but that's fine.
Well, we hope you guys loved all of our tech tools that we love. And if you guys have some that we didn't mention, like make sure to comment under here and tell us.
Yeah, 100%. So kick butt this week, moms. And also next or tomorrow is our marketing meetup, and we're going to be doing that. So make sure you tune in for that also.
Awesome. Bye.